So the majority report is attacking Jimmy Dore yet again, and I'm honestly sick and tired of these shit libs taking shots at Jimmy Dore when Jimmy Dore has been speaking out against the genocide in Gaza more than these motherfuckers ever have. Okay? All these idiots do is virtue signal constantly and call people anti Semitic, which, by the way, is a Zionist word. Okay, white Jews are not Semitic people. And that word was coined by a literal racist. His name was Maurice Steinschneider, and he believed that Palestine belongs to white Austrian Jews. So every time these shit libs use that word, they are proving that they are in fact Zionists. Okay? You're infantilizing Jews and you're collectivizing them as innocent as victims constantly because you never want to call people Jews when they do bad things. You only want to call people Jews when they're innocent or they're victims or they're oppressed. So I haven't seen this video yet. I only watched up until 1 minute and 21 seconds. And they've been just bitching and complaining about Jimmy Dore yet again. And like I said, Jimmy Dore has been doing far more for the pro-Palestinian movement than these motherfuckers ever have. So let's just watch it and I'll react to it and call out their Jewish supremacist bullshit as I see it.
Something that he taps into even prior to his like COVID denialism. I would argue that Jimmy's
Like, what the fuck do you care about the COVID denialism at a time like this? Okay, you have been attacking Jimmy Dore far more than you ever attacked David Pakman. Show me one video you motherfuckers ever made about David Pakman before the dark money scam going on. You may have mentioned David Pakman in passing, but I haven't even seen Sam Seder address David Pakman. Maybe I'm mistaken. Show me the video where Sam Seder talks about David Pakman. Sam Seder knew David Pakman. Okay, I talk about it in this video. David Pakman is a Jewish supremacist. David Pakman was actually the guy that introduced Michael Brooks to Sam Seder. That might be a big reason for why he hasn't said anything about David Pakman so far. But let's listen on.
Explosion in popularity was in many ways riding on deep misogyny. And I feel like, what's his new stand-up special called?
Grab him by the pussy, I believe.
And that's from
This weekend.
Oh, okay. So
Topical.
Now, a lot of people would say, like, oh, it's also just as untimely to even be talking about Jimmy Dore anymore. But on some level, like, this is a coda. Pretty close to the epoch and the move from sort of
what the fuck is he talking about? Epoch? He's mispronouncing that word. It's epic, actually. What an idiot.
Reactionary to full-on sort of nativist. Here he is introducing a clip about Nick Fuentes, and we should tell you that Nick Fuentes was part of a group called the Groypers. I don't know if they're an official group.
Look, I don't care. Even David Duke has been speaking out against the genocide in Gaza. Tucker Carlson has been speaking out against the genocide in Gaza. They have been doing far more to speak out against genocide in Gaza by Jews than not only David Pakman and that Brian Tyler Cohen guy, but also all Jewish supremacist controlled media like CNN, MSNBC, CBS now apparently, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, New York Post, of course. Like, New York Post isn't even hiding it. New York Post is a straight up Israeli media. It's Israeli state-controlled media. These racists, these people on the right who are white nationalists, white supremacists, they actually have been speaking out. And that's just the strange situation that we're in, that we have to contend with. This is a failure of Jew-controlled media, Western media. And it proves that it's controlled by Jews. And these shit libs will just call anyone anti-Semitic for pointing out when Jews are in positions of power and influence in American society and are using that power and influence to advance Jewish supremacist and pro-Israeli, pro-Zionist agendas. That's just the truth. I don't know of a single rich Jew that is anti-Zionist. Okay? I don't know of one. And no, George Soros isn't an anti-Zionist.
but that was their sort of like moniker. And the Groypers have been going after Charlie Kirk for almost 5 or 10 years. I can't remember how long it was.
Yeah, they're going after him because he's a Zionist. He's a grifter that's being paid by Jews to shill for Israel. He's advancing a pro-Israeli, pro-Zionist agenda because he's being paid by Jews. And that's the thing that you motherfuckers never want to call out. You never want to call out Jews when they do bad things. You only want to call people Jews when they do good things or they're innocent or they're victims.
But there were clips of Charlie Kirk, probably 10, actually, now that I think about it, or certainly during the first Trump administration. They would come specifically, they had a problem with Charlie Kirk, I think, TPUSA being not homophobic. And I think there were, I think I remember like some Groypers interrupting a TPUSA thing when Charlie Kirk was on stage with a gay Republican. And now I don't know if Charlie Kirk has sort of like renounced some of that because now that he's found God, and I don't mean he's just figured out how he's going to make more money. I mean, well, yes, I mean both. But nevertheless, here is Jimmy Dore playing a Nick Fuentes clip because it attacks Charlie Kirk.
Now, look, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. It doesn't even sound like he's about to talk about Jimmy Dore speaking out against the genocide in Gaza. This sounds like something completely unrelated. And look, if he's right, if he is being fair, I'll give him credit. But I don't think they should be going after people who have been speaking out against genocide because that's kind of the situation that we're in anyway. But look, I'll be fair here. Let's just play and see where it goes.
Kirk, I have no problem attacking Charlie Kirk, but there are other people who do that. And pretending that Nick Fuentes' entire career has not been built upon racism and anti-Semitism.
Oh, there he goes with the fucking anti-Semitism. That's a Zionist word, Sam Seder. You fucking idiot. It was coined by a racist. I already told you that. When are you going to get that through your thick Jew skull? Yes, it's a Zionist word. Okay, you're not a Semitic person, you idiot. You never were. White Jews are not Semitic people.
I mean, the guy is an anti-Semite and a racist.
Oh man, he said it twice in a row. he like, are you controlled opposition, Sam Seder? Why haven't you been saying anything about David Pakman being a Jewish supremacist? You guys won't call anyone a Jewish supremacist, will you?
Openly. Proudly.
Like it's his.
Yeah, because we all know that Jews never do anything wrong, right? No, Jews have been committing genocide, you idiots. You just don't want to call people Jews when they do bad things. You have no problem calling Christians when they do bad things. In fact, the thing that these shitlibs love doing, and they're white knights and they're simps, is they love blaming Christians for the crimes that Jews commit, but they never want to blame Jews for the crimes that Jews commit. They always want to blame Christians.
It's his value proposition.
Yeah.
Well,
And he
come
was
on,
just
Sam. You're distracting us with all these social issues.
He was just debating Candace Owens about how it's not just a culture problem with black people, it's their actual genetics.
And here he is, like, look at what he just dismisses. I mean, this is just, again, I know Jimmy Dore is not relevant to this audience, but it is sort of.
Yeah, but you obsess over him, won't shut the fuck up about him, but you never call out fucking David Pakman, the Jewish supremacist. Did you call out Brian Tyler Cohen, the Jewish supremacist? These fucking pieces of shit on the left, these Jewish supremacists on the left that have been taking dark money from Jews.
Interesting to watch the full turn completed.
Nick Fuentes, boy, he's really stirring it up. He's been accused of being a CIA plant to divide to prop up neocons and take down people who are fighting the neocons. So Nick Fuentes is a firebrand. He's a young, I think he's 25 years old. He's been accused of a lot of things. He's been accused of being anti-Semitic. Who hasn't? He's been accused of being racist.
Can you fucking believe that?
Yeah, like, guess what? Anyone who has been criticizing Israel has been called anti-Semitic, you idiot. Like, the fact that no one apparently has called Sam Seder or Emma Vigeland anti-Semitic yet is actually really suspicious to me. because people have been calling Cenk Uygur anti-Semitic. They've been calling Anna Kasparian anti-Semitic. They've been calling Bassem Youssef anti-Semitic, because these are people who actually criticize Israel and the genocide they've been doing. Okay, if you haven't been called anti-Semitic yet, then you haven't been doing that. That's a worthless word. Even Congress admitted that anti-Zionism means the same thing as anti-Semitism, which makes that word absolutely meaningless. Not just because it's a misnomer, as I described before, and it was coined by a racist and a Zionist, but because the ADL admitted that anti-Semitism is a matter of opinion. Yeah, I'm not joking. You can look this up yourself. The ADL was sued because they were spying on people. This is a group that was founded to defend a pedophile and a child murderer named Leo Frank. And so this was always a Jewish supremacist organization. And they were sued because what they actually do is they are acting on behalf of a foreign country known as Israel. And they've been spying on groups that Israel Jewish supremacists don't like Arabs, Muslims, black people. They were spying on them. And then they were sued for it. And in court depositions, they admitted that anti-Semitism is not a matter of fact. It's a matter of opinion. And if you want a second statement in regards to this, the group known as Stop Anti-Semitism was sued by someone who was labeled anti-Semitic by these motherfuckers. And the judge dismissed the lawsuit because they concluded that anti-Semitism is a matter of opinion. Okay? It's worthless. You can call anything anti-Semitic. You could call an octopus anti-Semitic. That's how worthless that fucking word is.
Also, a lot of people in that boat.
Pause it for a second and just go back. Oh my God. He hasn't been accused. He's literally announced it.
Yeah. Proclaimed.
Yeah, like he wears it.
I don't care. I'll announce it. I'm anti-Semitic. I don't give a fuck. Like, if being an anti-Zionist means you are anti-Semitic, then I'm fine with that. Okay? Do I hate every single Jew on the planet? No. But I think the good Jews should probably renounce their Jewish identity because it's a social construct and a choice, and it's an ideological identity. I think you should do that. Let the piece of shit genocidal Jews keep the label. They've been weaponizing it. I wouldn't have said a damn thing about Jewish identity if Jews didn't weaponize Jewish identity and anti-Semitism to slander their critics and immunize themselves from critique. So who fucking cares? Congress said that anti-Zionism is the same thing as anti-Semitism. So who gives a fuck, Sam? You Jewish supremacist piece of shit.
It as a badge of honor. I mean...
Yeah, it is a badge of honor. You stupid moron. What the fuck? Holy shit. Of course it's a badge of honor. If you aren't being called anti-Semitic, then you haven't been speaking out against the genocide in Palestine. You Jewish supremacist fuck.
There's just no way that Dore doesn't know what he's doing here, that this isn't on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm just like Hitler, he said in 2022 during a live stream.
Denied the Holocaust and called for a holy war against Jews.
He's been accused by him.
Well, what about the genocidal Jews? What about the Jews that are raping and killing kids, though? Does Mo or Curly in the background there? I don't know what the fuck his stupid ass name is. I just know he has a retarded fucking haircut. Does he think that there's a problem with waging war against the Jews who are raping and killing kids and committing genocide? Like, you motherfuckers always collectivize Jews as innocent as victims because you're Jewish supremacists.
Himself of these things.
But who hasn't, Sharon?
But who hasn't? Whatever.
But who hasn't? Shut up.
So Nick Fuentes is a firebrand. He's a young, I think he's 25 years old. He's been accused of a lot of things. He's been accused of being anti-Semitic. Who hasn't? He's been accused of being racist. Also, a lot of people in that boat. A little more evidence to back it up on his side, though. But he really has a hard time. He doesn't like race mixing, but none of that has anything to do with this. He's now coming after Charlie.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
He's just being honest. He's describing Nick Fuentes. I don't know why they're freaking out. Sam Seder, you haven't been calling out David Pakman. Okay, you haven't been calling out Jewish supremacy. Nick Fuentes, the guy who is opposed to race mixing, which I don't agree with, has been calling out Jewish supremacy. You haven't.
Who hasn't been accused of? Hey, he doesn't like race mixing. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't been accused of being anti-Semitic? You haven't, I guess, because you haven't been calling out the genocide in Gaza. Man, look at his fugly ass face here. Fugly ass Jew face. You can call me anti-Semitic. I don't care.
I throw that away.
This is me talking to my high school girlfriend when she's going to meet my grandfather.
But you're
They're laughing like Jewish monkeys now.
like not like dismissing it. Like,
No.
I don't want you to get the idea that he's racist. He just doesn't like the race mixing.
Yeah, don't get distracted by the white hood.
Where do you have his chicken, though?
But haven't we all been accused? He is mad because he's too much of a drunk, lazy idiot to have gotten on board with what, like, actually Anna is doing now, right? Where it's basically like anti-Zionist or anti-Israel rhetoric, but it's always like about them infiltrating the U.S. It's not an anti-colonial or an anti-capitalist perspective.
Because they are infiltrating the U.S., you idiot. Whoa, what the fuck? Like, wait a minute, you don't think Israel, Zionists have infiltrated the U.S.? You don't think that?
Or like anti-imperialism even more broadly, maybe to a degree.
Yeah, maybe because that doesn't resonate with a right-wing audience. Like, I agree that Israel is a settler colonial state. And in fact, Zionism was just an Ashkenazi separatist movement. It was born out of Africa, scramble for Africa, colonial movement that was going on in the late 1800s. But the problem is that kind of rhetoric doesn't resonate with a right-wing audience. But the fact that America is infiltrated by Zionists, by Jewish supremacists, does resonate with them. Because they don't like the idea that we're being controlled by a foreign country and by Jews. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially when the Jews are loyal to a foreign country. Like, that's the problem with you idiots, that you can't admit when Jews do something wrong. And every single rich Jew is a Zionist. They all are. Name one that is an anti-Zionist. I would love to hear about it.
Degree, but it focuses on it being like a secret cabal of Jews that are controlled.
Yeah, I do think that, like, what do you think a secret cabal of Jews is? Do you think they don't act in secret when they conspire? Do you think Jews don't conspire? And what is a cabal? A cabal is just a group of people. I mean, you could say that, like, where do you think this dark money comes from? Like, I don't think that's unfair to say it comes from a secret cabal. That's what these fucking Jews have been doing. Okay? I have no problem calling them Jews because they are Jews. They call themselves Jews. But you never want to call them Jews. Yes, there is a secret cabal. There are many secret cabals. That's what dark money is, you idiots. What a fucking moron.
Controlling our foreign policy, or AIPAC being a foreign lobby. It's always a secondary thing.
Yes, AIPAC is a foreign lobby. What the hell? What's the matter with you?
And acting like Israel is leading the United States as opposed to a creation of like Western imperialism and our foreign policy. And he missed the boat on getting.
Oh my God. Like, what did she say there? Hold on. I'm backing up a little bit.
In bed with.
I need to back up a little bit.
Israel is leading the United States as opposed to a.
Israel is leading the United States. Like, I don't even understand what she has a problem with. You don't think Israel is leading the United States, Emma Vigland? I'm actually kind of shocked that you would say that. Of course they are. Every single fucking U.S. politician has an AIPAC handler. Thomas Massey revealed that. I think even Nina Turner, she talked about that. Every single U.S. politician has an AIPAC handler, you idiot, you bimbo. What an idiot.
A creation of like Western imperialism and our foreign policy, and he missed the boat on.
Oh my God. Because that kind of talk, that kind of rhetoric doesn't. I already talked about this, right? She's so stupid. They're speaking to a centrist or a right-wing audience. You can't speak to them the same way you speak to a progressive audience, you moron.
on getting in bed with the Tuckers and the Candace Owenses, so now he's got to go to Nick Fuentes, who's to
Yeah, because Candace Owens has also been speaking out against the genocide in Gaza. She's been doing it too. Okay, these are people on the right, so they're speaking to a right-wing audience, so they have to speak in a way that resonates with that audience, you moron. Holy shit, you're stupid.
the right of those guys on that. He thinks that Steve Bannon is a faker because Bannon thinks that there should be black people in Trump's coalition. But tomato, some differences. We're all on the same side here, I guess.
And I wonder that sort of creepy laugh that his wife is doing when we've all been accused of being racist.
Right.
Oh, right. That was.
I mean, I've been accused of being racist. As a sniper wolf, she went full woke and accused me of racism. I'm sure you've been accused of racism too, Sam. You are a racist. You are a racist. You're a Jew supremacist. So's Emma Vigeland. What do you think that is? Those are racists. You refuse to call people Jews when they do bad things. You only want to call people Jews when they're innocent or they're victims. You always do this. And you use a Zionist word, anti-Semitism, which was coined by a racist. Go look it up if you don't believe me. His name was Maurice Steinschneider.
Was when we were out there protesting against the black people moving in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Is that the end of it?
In that boat. A little more evidence to back it up on his side, though. But he really has a hard time. He doesn't like race mixing, but none of that's evidence.
He has a hard time with race mixing.
How many times are they going to go over this?
There's nothing to do with any of this.
Get to
That's
the
why
point,
I
you
even
idiots.
felt compelled to divulge that.
So it's the thumbnail that is showing up here of Nick Fuentes, the Twitter name there is Frederick Zoller, who's one of the Nazis in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh my God.
It's just right there on the screen.
But who hasn't named himself after a Nazi and
Okay, whatever. All right. So that's not the point, though.
Do with this. He's now coming after Charlie Kirk. You know Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA. He's a major influencer on the right. He could get an audience with the president and stuff
pause
like
it.
that.
You
So
know who else
he's-
had an audience with the president? Nick Fuentes.
Yep. And Kanye, they went down to dinner there, and Kanye was saying, I love Hitler and over again on the.
Yeah, because he didn't have very good experiences with Jews. Did it ever occur to you that people don't like Jews for their behavior, that Jews are capable of evil just like anyone else, and that you infantilize Jews because you never want to call people Jews when they do bad things? Did that ever occur to you in your liberal mind? No? Okay.
What was it, the Alex Jones live stream that Fuentes brought him to?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Also,
who hasn't?
Who hasn't been there? I mean, I just did, quoting Fuentes.
Grandpa saying,
I wonder if these two Jewish supremacists believe that Jews can be racist. Like, are they in the liberal camp of where they actually believe that Jews can't be racist? I'm just wondering.
he's now going after Charlie Kirk. This is one of his main projects, is trying to get the right-wingers from Charlie Kirk.
Right, and there are some really thirsty morons who are giving this attention where, I guess Fuentes is exploding in popularity on the right. That's a pretty big problem, but perhaps we shouldn't.
Maybe it's not, because he's been speaking out against Zionist influence in America. And yes, that is a good thing. We should not be controlled by Zionists. I know they're your best friends, though, so she's unhappy about that. I don't really care. Like, anyone who speaks to a right-wing audience and can get them to disabuse themselves of America's support for Israel is a good thing. You just have to communicate to them in a way that actually resonates with them.
Launder his reputation just because he's critical of Israel, you idiots. It actually
what Jimmy's trying to
deeply
do-
hurts the movement.
Oh, that's the pot calling the kettle black. This is the reason why feminists lost the right-wingers when it came to the abortion issue. Like, they could have actually, won conservatives on abortion if they actually communicated it to them in a way that made sense and was logical to them. Like, for example, the theory that the passage of Roe v. Wade led to the decline of violent crime in America. That is one of the things that has been attributed to being responsible for the decline of violent crime in America, the passage of Roe v. Wade. I think that would have been an excellent way to get people to support a woman's right to have an abortion. But no, it had to be about women's rights, which, I got to be honest with you, conservatives don't give a fuck about that. You're such brainless morons. You have no understanding of strategy and how to reach people.
Jimmy is
Not that he
trying to
cares.
gain views off of
Yes.
that. He
Yeah.
knows that he has.
And then the majority report is trying to gain views off of Jimmy Dore. That's why they always talk about him, but they almost never talk about David Pakman except for very recently. And even then, Sam Seder is on vacation conveniently whenever that happens.
This is a Rumble play.
Yeah, exactly. This is for the teenage Nazi audience. Jimmy wants that easy money.
Well, he is very hip, so.
Grandpa.
Audience with the president and stuff like that. So he's coming at him right now. Let's listen to Nick Fuentes. He goes right at Charlie Kirk. Let's listen.
Whoa! Okay, we don't need to do that.
Wow, that's
Right?
I mean, his whole thing on his
That I don't think they even made a point. They didn't even make a point. What was the point of this segment? They didn't even get into the content of what Jimmy Dore was even talking about. What a fucking worthless video.
Southern Poverty Law Center, breakdown.
Are you going to quote the ADL now? The group, the Jewish supremacist Zionist group that was founded to defend a pedophile and child murderer? Are you going to cite them too?
Talks about how he's to the right of the Republican Party. Like, this isn't a new development that he's criticizing Charlie Kirk, who's very
Criticize a right winger that actually has been supporting Israel, like Charlie Kirk himself or Ben Shapiro. Why not one of them? Or criticize one of your own, David Jew Man, David APAC Man. Why don't you criticize that Jewish supremacist? Why don't you criticize Brian Tyler Cohen some more? No, you rarely do that. Instead, you go after the people who have actually been speaking out against the genocide in Gaza. Yeah, this is an unusual time. I'll admit that. But that's because of the failure of Western mainstream media, which is controlled by Jews. Okay, and if you call that anti-Semitic, I couldn't care less. You can call anything anti-Semitic, including true things. And the allegations of anti-Semitism have no bearing on the truth value of a claim. As I pointed out earlier, it is a matter of opinion, not a matter of fact, which means you can call true things anti-Semitic. That's how worthless that fucking Zionist word is, which was coined by a racist.
mainstream in the Republican
He's to the
Party.
right and that he's populist against him.
Yeah, he's
He's against the establishment. The narrow, one establishment.
Like the establishment.
Is that his Jew impression? Is that his impression of a crotchety, ratchety, ugly-ass Jew?
That people can cross races.
Exactly. He's against the establishment.
He's got a hard time.
He's against the establishment clause and also the 14th Amendment.
written by fucking corporate sellouts.
He's got it.
Who wrote the
tough time.
Constitution? The man.
He's against the establishment of the 13th Amendment too. So.
You know what else they're against? The genocide in Gaza, which is kind of an important thing.
He's got a tough time with Jim Crow not being around anymore.
Exactly. He's really taking on this whole post civil war.
Talk about Jews in a negative way. I dare these motherfuckers. I double dare these motherfuckers. Do it. Just do it once. Can you ever call someone a Jew when they do something bad? I'm just curious.
War thing. He's really taking on the
hates,
new regime.
He's just anti-war against Lincoln.
Right.
All right, I'm done. They have no problem calling Christians when they do bad things. Their audience, their simps, will routinely blame Christians for the crimes that Jews commit. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. Non-Jew Zionists are not the same as Jews. Non-Jew Zionists don't blackmail people. They don't bribe people to benefit Israel, with maybe like one or two exceptions. They don't harass, threaten, dox, slander, swat people that criticize Israel, but Jews do. And I would know because it happened to me. And yeah, the people who are blackmailing our politicians are Jews. The people who blackmailed Bill Clinton were Jews. Monica Lewinsky was a Jew, and she very likely was working for the Mossad, or at least adjacent to them. That's why she kept the blue dress after she gave Bill Clinton a blowjob and he blew his load over her blue dress and she kept it. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Jeffrey Epstein's island was a blackmail island. He was a Mossad agent, and his job was to entrap rich and powerful people, politicians, to get blackmail on them, to coerce them to support Israel. And the people who are blackmailing our politicians are Jews. So, but they'll never say any of these things because they're Jewish supremacists. But I'm gonna call them out every single fucking time they pull this shit because I'm done with you motherfuckers. You're controlled opposition as far as I'm concerned because you're doing far more harm than good. Fuck the Majority Report. Fuck Sam Seder. Fuck Emma Vigeland. Fuck that Three Stooges guy, and fuck the rest of them. They're all scum. Jewish supremacists, every last one of them.